Older women think they want high-value men, but get ignored.
95% of the time, a man will go for a cute girl over a smoking hot girl. And the main reason why is because a super hot girl almost feels unattainable for them. They're too intimidated by that. She's overly confident. They also assume that a girl that is really freaking hot is out of their league, is out of their world, and they have a whole roster going on. There's too many men at their beck and call. So they're not even going to attempt to go with that. You could be the hottest girl ever, but a man is just going to assume that you're already taken or you already have too many guys coming up to you, but it's probably the opposite. Like, you probably don't even have that many men talking to you because they're all too intimidated to talk to you. Cute equals innocence to a man. If a girl looks more cutesy to a guy, they go, oh, she's more attainable, she's more sweet, she's more innocent, and there's more of a lure to that, which is kind of messed up. Or they could also think that cute equals sweetness, like they want someone that's genuinely sweet, and they're just going to judge that person based off their appearance from the get-go. I feel like some of the hottest looking people in the world probably are the most lonely because they're put at such a high category to a bunch of people. Like, people look at them as outworldly, untouchable, so then people don't even attempt to go for really hot people.
No, no, no. We are not intimidated by scorching hot women. Ugh, so tired of some people thinking that. There are some negative traits that super hot women are more likely to have. That is 90% it. Plus, most super hot have an attitude like they should be worshipped.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Are you single?
Yes,
Why are you single right now?
because the men are not enough rich to take care of me.
So you're looking for a rich man.
Yes, yes, I want to be spoiled.
Why does he have to be rich?
Because I want to be spoiled. Because I make my own money and I need to be dominated.
So you couldn't dominate the man who you were out earning.
I'm submissive. No, I cannot.
So the man that you want, what do you expect from him financially?
I accept him to change my life and, I don't know, take care of me, give me security.
He has to pay for everything,
Yes,
take you on trips,
yes, of course.
whatever you want, it doesn't matter the cost, he should be able to get it.
Yes, exactly.
But you're 29 now.
Yes.
Do you think that if you met a multi-millionaire in Miami, that he's gonna say, yeah, I'll give that to her? Or is he gonna give it to the 23-year-old girl?
I look young, I look fresh, I don't smoke, I don't drink, so I think I look 23.
Okay,
Do you?
that question's up for debate, but he gives you that, right? How do you support that multi-millionaire in his life?
Just me?
Just you?
Yes.
But what do you bring?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah. It's hard to be a woman these days, so. And we get shit on, so.
She looks 40. With this mind, you be ever single. She brings nothing and want to be spoiled. Rich man / high-value men look for intelligent woman. Her words gave me enough courage to follow my dream of opening a pet shop.
Let's talk about my date last night, ladies. Sort of crashed out last night, so you already know where this video is headed. I slept, I woke up and I did start my period, so that I think could explain some of the feelings I was feeling last night. My shirt is wet because I just washed my hands. Let's just move past it. Let's take it from the beginning. Bio says he's 5'9". I think it's important to note that I considered wearing heels last night, but part of me was like, no, because what if you're taller than him? And then I thought, Jez, even if he lied, you're not going to be taller than him. He said he was 5'9". This has happened 3 times prior that I was just like, don't wear the heels. It's going to put you in a bad mood if you wear heels and somehow you're taller than him. Well, thank God I didn't, and I wore flats. He shows up, I give him a hug. We're the same height. I'm 5'1". At most, if I want to be the most generous, I could say he was 5'3". Really do believe he was 5'2", but if I want to stretch my imagination and my most fertile imagination and give him something, I'll say 5'3". But he was 5'9". I hug him, I'm in a bad mood because he lied. Turn to the door, I'm expecting him to like go in front of me to open it. He doesn't, he just stands there. I open the door for the 2 of us. Walk into the bar, go to the bar. He says he doesn't really drink wine. Bartender is like, well, what do you like? He's like, I typically like a sweet wine. Bartender's like, okay, do you want Moscato? He gets a glass of Moscato, whatever, I don't care. The bar that we're at, it has like bar stools, but the stools are like full on chairs. So they're pretty big and bulky. So you can't really like stand in front of them comfortably. It's either like you stand there and order and leave, or you sit and drink your drink at the bar. But we're awkwardly just standing there. Like, do you want to just sit here? He goes like, no, I don't want to sit here. I'm like, okay, kind of expecting him to then direct us to where he wants to sit, but he doesn't. We're still just standing there. There for like so long awkwardly that even the bartender is like, hey, do you guys want to sit, or do you want me to take these to you? Like, I'm like, let's just sit. We go to sit down. The two chairs are really close to each other, right? So you have to like spread them so that way both of us can sit in. So I move my chair, he moves his chair, we sit. He pulls his chair so far away from me that I'm sitting right here, he is all the way over here. He's nowhere near me. I'm expecting him to bring the chair closer, he doesn't. So now I'm just like awkwardly like facing him, yelling at him, and there's a man sitting next to me. I'm basically on his lap. It's like he and I are on a date and I'm just talking to the stranger over here. And at some point, this guy that I'm sitting so close to is just watching us interact. Oh God, it was just so... After sitting there pretty uncomfortably for a few minutes, I tell him, can we move? And he goes, yeah, this is kind of awkward. I'm like, yeah, it is. In my head, I'm like, if you're recognizing that it's awkward, why don't you just take an initiative and do something about it? To another table. I'm so checked out at that point. I'm just in a bad mood. I'm annoyed that he lied about his height. This is gonna make me sound like such a bitch, okay? But whatever, we're here. He was wearing a fucking turtleneck. A turtleneck. A cable knit turtleneck all the way up to his neck. It was 80 degrees yesterday in Los Angeles. Also just had this like permanent smirk on his face. Like every time I talk, anything I said, he was just like as if he was like about to start laughing. Sinister, like, again, I started my period this morning, so I think I can understand my feelings a little more last night, but I literally wanted to yell at him. I wanted to be like, why are you looking at me like that? What am I saying that's causing that smirk? Each finish our glass of wine. He says, can I get you another? I say, no, thank you. I can see in his face that defeated him, and I actually did feel pretty badly about that. I'm not set out to hurt people's feelings. I don't want people to feel bad. I didn't want to have another glass of wine. And he was paying for it all. And so then that was another reason why I was like, if I know I don't want to see you again, I'm not going to have you buy me a second glass of wine. Make a little more conversation. And then I say, hey, should we get out of here? And he goes, yeah, do you want to just like walk around? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. But I'm like, and then he gets up, he goes and pays, he comes back. I'm like, thanks so much for the wine. And he's like, yeah, of course. You want to just like walk around the area? And I said, no, not really. And he goes, oh, okay. We're walking in the same direction. And he goes, did you park this way? I'm like, yeah, I parked this way. But I parked all the way down here and he was going to turn this way where he parked. I was really hoping that he wasn't going to insist to walk me to my car. Get to the spot where he's like, I'm this way. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm this way. And I just hug him. And I'm like, okay, thanks so much. And I give him a hug. And I could tell that like in the hug, he starts pulling away and we're like making eye contact. And he's doing that thing that guys do when they're like about to like kiss you, and I'm just like, oh, and then I'm like, bye, have a safe drive home. Kind of is standing frozen a little bit. Like I'm like bolting away and he's still just like kind of stuck there. I could tell that he wanted to kiss. I could tell he didn't want the night to end, but I needed to get out of there. Got texted since then. I think the vibes were very clear that I was trying to get the hell out of there. That was date one. Date 1 of 12. It's actually canceled. I'm not doing this anymore. Just kidding. I think that the date also was so bad because I was then committed to not trying to make it better. Usually when I'm on bad dates, I will be the personality for the both of us. I will be the charm for the both of us. Last night, I was just like, this was me on my date. Damn, that's crazy. Like maybe I was being a bitch. I don't know. I was just over it. Thank God I started my period because at least it makes a little more sense as to why I've been feeling so crappy the last couple days. And then for the next one, cheers.
This woman is making a whole TikTok video because the guy she went on a date with lied about his height. Let's talk about the irony here for a second. She's so upset about him lying that she felt the need to publicly blast him on social media. And you know what? Her frustration is valid. Nobody likes being lied to. Misrepresenting yourself is dishonest, and showing up to a date only to realize someone isn't who they said they were feels like a waste of time. Fair enough, but here's where this gets interesting. Women lie on dating apps constantly and nobody bats an eye. Angles that hide weight, filters that completely change facial features, photos from 5 years and 30 pounds ago, full face of makeup and professional lighting in every picture, then showing up looking like a completely different person. Group photos where you can't tell which one is actually her. But when men call that out, we're shallow, superficial, and body shaming. A guy adds 2 inches to his height and it's TikTok-worthy outrage. A woman uses 10 filters and photos from 2019, and we're supposed to pretend we don't notice and still be grateful she showed up. The double standard is wild. Now let's be clear. He shouldn't have lied about his height. Lying is weak behavior regardless of gender. If you're insecure about something, work on accepting it or improving what you can. Don't misrepresent yourself and hope the other person won't care once they're already invested. That's manipulative. But she needs to keep that same energy about honesty across the board. If you're going to make videos dragging men for lying about height, you better be showing up to dates looking exactly like your photos. No filters, no angles, no deception. Because if you're out here catfishing with your profile, but mad about 2 inches of height difference, you're a hypocrite. Men lie about height because women have made it an absolute deal breaker, even when it's irrelevant to compatibility. Women lie about weight and appearance for the same reason, because men care about physical attraction. Both are dishonest. Both waste people's time. The difference is only one gets called out publicly while the other gets defended as confidence and knowing your angles. Here's the real lesson. If honesty matters to you, practice it yourself. Show up authentically, expect authenticity in return, and stop acting like your deceptions are empowerment while his are crimes.
Hey guys, I worry that I may be too high maintenance, which is so interesting because I'm not actually looking for anything serious with anybody. Like, I'm not trying to be in a relationship, but I still have all these like expectations, and I'm like, am I doing too much? Do I need to be a bit more patient? So recently, I went out with this guy. I won't even say where I know him from because he's probably gonna watch this video, or my friends will be able to guess. But anyway, I went out with this dude. Amazing dates. It was very funny, making me laugh. One of those dates where you guys literally take photos and you look back on the pictures and you're like, wow, like we had so much fun. I was actually showing my friends the photos and they're like, oh my god, you guys look like a couple. Anyway, great. So I was kind of like riding the high of the day, and the day happened on a Friday. We were texting, over the weekend, and he was a bit of a slow texter. Our last messages was Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon from me, like Sunday morning, like 11 a.m. And he didn't text back until like Tuesday, and I was just like, yeah, this cannot work. So I just didn't respond, and since they haven't responded, this was like, I don't know, a month ago or something. I'm just like, I'm not doing this with you. So I'm like, I don't know, should I be more chill? Like, should I be more relaxed?
That's not high maintenance. Women calling themselves high maintenance will forever be funny to me. Talk about objectifying themselves. She started by saying she's not trying to be in a relationship, then she's going on a date and now not happy he's a slow texter. Also said this cannot work. Sounds like she's confused, and that's okay. Why didn't you look at it from a different perspective? There might be a reason you couldn't hold on to find out. He might have figured you don't want anything serious, and man can't afford to be emotionally invested.
Where are all the provider good men at? As a dating coach, I can tell you that they still exist. Unfortunately, a good provider man is just not average anymore. And as someone who married a provider mindset man, I can tell you that there's going to be seasons in your life and in your relationship where you might have to do 20-80. Or in my case, for 4 months, it was 40-60. But it was all temporary. And here's one of the things that you need to understand as a lady who's in the dating market. You have to take a risk. There's risk in everything you do. So if you think, okay, so he has good character, he has good money, he has this, he has that, he has that, there's nothing that could go wrong, think again. But where are these provider men? They are literally everywhere. I need you ladies to understand that if you are a man's dream woman, he will move mountains for you to give you the lifestyle that you want. You won't need to force yourself. You won't need to mold yourself into something that you are not. Men are simple. They either love you or they just want you for a good time. They see you as a wife or they don't. So instead of focusing on where are they at, I recommend for you to build a life of love. Learn to love yourself and learn how to accept yourself and learn how to be at peace with yourself. Because that energy alone is so magnetic to the correct men, and you will intimidate and turn off the men that are not meant to be in your life. As always, ladies, be wise.
Yes, she gets it.
Excuse the lion's mane hair. I'm just going to have a rant for a second because I saw this on today's episode of Random Things I've Seen Along the Beach. There was this man riding his bike with his daughter, like so cute. I was like, oh bless, what a lovely Why am I burped? What a lovely man. Like, how lovely. Like 3 seconds later, the mum rides past. She's got, I'm not even joking, a full-on trailer of their stuff. Like 2 surfboards, boogie boards, all of the bags. Like, that thing would have weighed a ton. And she's like slogging it through on the push bike while Dad's up ahead living his best life free on his bicycle. What is happening in this world? Like, there is no universe where like that should happen. And also, if my uncle, like maybe it's an Australian thing, but if my uncle saw me slogging it out with a trailer while my partner was up living his best life free, he would have a lot to say. Like, what is this world? Like, I can't.
Sounds like a strong, independent woman? What's the problem? So it is expected for only men to be selfless? Men, they're in trouble. Men don't spend time with their kids, they're in trouble. Men spend time with their kids, they're in trouble. Men listen to women saying they want equal treatment, they're in trouble.
I was rejected by a guy in the most embarrassing and humiliating way possible, but still a part of me feels like this was my fault, so I need you guys to let me know what you think. One day, I matched with this guy on Bumble who was very, very handsome. He was a documentary filmmaker, curly brown hair, profile said 6'2". At the time, I was going through an identity crisis, so I just so happened to dye my hair back to brunette, although previous to that, I was blonde. I was on this dating app, and unfortunately, I hadn't updated any of my photos to reflect the way that I looked, although the photos that I did have were just like taken 2-3 months ago. It's not like my physical appearance looked that different, it's just that my hair color was very different. So me and this guy are literally talking for 2 days, we're hitting it off, the conversation is flowing back and forth, and most of the time guys will just waste your time and not ask you out on a date, or if they ask you out on a date, they'll ask you to like go for a walk in the park. Days after us matching, we are on a date, I meet him for the first time, he's exiting his car, and he's walking towards me, and as he's walking towards me, I could tell he has like a confused look on his face. And I've been on many dates. I've never been accused of being a catfish. I've never had somebody disappointed when they saw me in real life. In fact, I've had guys tell me that they are surprised and that I actually look better in person, that I look better than in my photos. He gives me a hug. We walk to the restaurant. We sit down. We're ordering drinks, and he's just asking him random questions, trying to make small talk, and he is just being very, very odd and standoffish. And at one point during the date, he looks at me and he says, "You look a little different than on your photos." I was like, yeah, I actually dyed my hair. I went darker. I've been a brunette in the past. Like, this is actually close to my natural hair color. And I was just tired of the blonde because it was ruining my hair. And then he tells me that he thinks that that is actually misleading and that I should have updated my dating profile photos to match how my hair looks now. So then I ask him, well, would that have changed your opinion of me? Would that have made you not want to go out on a date? And he kind of laughs and shrugs it off and says, well, you know, I do like blondes. And that just like rubbed me the wrong way. Anyway, we end up splitting some appetizers on a couple of drinks, and I end up leaving and thinking to myself, like, this is probably not going to go anywhere because that guy was super, super weird. I have no plans on texting this guy, but then I get a text from him the next evening. He sends me a whole paragraph that I never even asked for. In his paragraph, he tells me that he thinks that it's not right, that I misrepresented myself on my dating profile, and that if he's being completely 100% transparent, he is into blondes, that is his specific type, and he does not prefer brunettes. I never replied to him. I ended up blocking his number, but guys, there was a part of me that almost got my butt into my car and went to Sally Beauty Supply to get some bleach because I was so insecure at that point. When I look back on it though, did I make a mistake? Did I misrepresent myself? Did I catfish this guy? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Technically speaking, yes, the photos needed to be updated. When women have an abundance of men wanting them, they can be as picky as they want. Obviously, this handsome dude had an abundance of girls wanting him, so...
I wasn't joking when I made the video last week about matching with a guy on the dating site and him telling me after we talked for a couple of hours and had really good conversation, it was like he got so comfortable with me that he was like, wow, I thought you were really high maintenance. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, why would you think, and why would you say it? If you just feel like I'm not now, but why would you say it? And I was like, oh, like, I mean, what made you think that? And he just went sort of kind of on a tirade about wanting a woman who knew the value of a dollar, and he wasn't any woman's money tree. And he never told me what he did for a living. And I don't care what he does for a living. He just asked me and then made some comment about how I hadn't asked him yet what he did for a living. Like I wasn't interested, which I just don't ask that question. So then I had to ask the question. Then he was like, don't worry about it. I'm a professional. Like, I still don't. I mean, we ended up never talking again after a couple of days. But it was just weird because that's the second guy who has said something like that to me. Like another guy matched with me. The first thing he said to me was, if you're the type of woman who likes to be like out on the patio at, I don't even know what the place was. I'm guessing it's some, scene store place in Tampa. If you're the type of woman who likes to drink martinis out on the patio on a Friday night, I'm not the guy for you. And I was like, I don't even know what that place is. Like, I don't drink. I'm 51. I don't go out anywhere, dude. Like, my date last night was to go walk my daughter's dogs in a pretty neighborhood on the water after dark. Well, I was like, oh, well, no, that's not me. And I'm always constantly feeling like I have to apologize. Like I have to explain myself to these men like, oh, no, I'm not high maintenance at all. I cut and hung the tile backsplash in my kitchen. I laid the hardwood floors in my house. I did the yard work here. I hand dug the ditch and moved the plumbing line when we put in a pool. I don't know or how to change. Like, I think all the women that know me on this app know exactly who I am and are as baffled as I am about the impression that I'm giving off. So I don't get it. I'm gonna be single forever.
This 52-year-old woman matched with a guy on a dating app. They talked for a couple of hours, had what she thought were really good conversations, and then he told her she's high maintenance and that he doesn't want to be someone's money tree. Now she's furious. Let's break down what actually happened here, because her anger is misplaced. This man did her a favor. He was honest. After a couple hours of conversation, he picked up on enough signals to realize that what she expects from a relationship doesn't align with what he's willing to provide. He could have ghosted her. He could have strung her along for a few dates and then disappeared. Instead, he was direct. You seem high maintenance, and I'm not looking to be an ATM. That's respectful honesty, not an insult. But she's furious. Why? Because he said out loud what she didn't want to hear. Here's the reality. If a man concludes within hours of conversation that you're high maintenance, you probably revealed exactly that. High maintenance doesn't just mean expensive. It means you require excessive time, attention, emotional labor, and resources relative to what you contribute. During those conversations, she likely dropped hints about her lifestyle expectations, what she's accustomed to, what she expects from a man, or how she views relationships. And he recognized immediately that the investment to return ratio wasn't worth it for him. At 52, she should understand something crucial. Men at this age have been through enough relationships to spot red flags quickly. They know what high maintenance looks like. They've learned that some women view men primarily as providers and validation sources rather than partners, and they've learned to walk away early rather than waste time and money on someone whose expectations are unrealistic. The money tree comment tells you everything. At some point in those conversations, she made it clear, probably without even realizing it, that she expects financial support, provision, or a certain lifestyle that he would be responsible for funding. Maybe she talked about expensive tastes. Maybe she mentioned what her ex used to do for her. Maybe she described her ideal date and it involved him spending significant money. Whatever it was, he heard it and opted out. Here's what she should be asking instead of being furious. What did I say that gave him that impression? If multiple men are reaching the same conclusion about me, is there truth to it? Am I actually high maintenance and just don't want to admit it? Because here's the thing. If you're 52, single, and men are consistently telling you that you're too much work for too little return, the common denominator is you, not them. She can be angry all she wants, but anger doesn't change the fact that he assessed the situation accurately and removed himself before wasting both their time. That's not cruelty, that's efficiency. If she wants different results, she needs to either find a man who's specifically looking for a high-maintenance woman and has the resources and desire to maintain her, or she needs to honestly evaluate whether her expectations are reasonable given what she brings to the table. At 52, her dating market value is significantly lower than it was at 32 or even 42. Her pool of available quality men is smaller, and the men who are available at that age and have resources are extremely selective because they have options. If she's pricing herself out of her own market by having champagne expectations on a beer budget reality, she's going to stay single and furious. The man who told her the truth did nothing wrong. She should thank him for not wasting her time.